There are a few times when people might disagree about which side of the line they are on. But here at Bristol Motor Speedway, everyone agrees it's the world's fastest half mile. This lightning-quick half mile, known as the Last Great Coliseum, has been attracting race fans for decades to watch NASCAR's best battle on the banks of Bristol. Hi everybody, welcome to Bristol Motor Speedway and the Bush's Beans 150, the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour back in action here in Bristol, Tennessee. I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside Tommy Baldwin. Derek Perniciglio will be joining us just a few minutes. Tommy, this place is fast, and fast.
It is, Ralph. I mean, just to give you a little example, Patrick Emmerling was on the pole today with a 14:40. Thompson Speedway pole speed is 18:50. That's over 4 seconds. That means if you had a car that fast racing at Thompson, they would lap the other car every 4.5 laps.
That's the type of speed you get on this high-banked racetrack approaching 30 degrees. Solomito, Pennick, Priest, all very tight. Kobe, Goodale, and Bonsignor, they're all still in it too.
No, they're not out of it. I think the top 6 guys right now have a shot at the title. Ryan Priest missing a race, still sitting only 19 back. Could be the story of the year.
Here's Derek with our pole sitter.
Well, Ralph, Patrick Emmerling is on the pole, and he's only been doing a part-time schedule this year. And Patrick, with that part-time schedule, only running here and there, how is it that you're so competitive with these guys every time you race?
Well, it feels good, you know, just to be a, just a part-time guy like how we are, and show up to these races and be as competitive as we are. It just, it just reflects on the team, and yeah, no, it's definitely a good feeling on our end.
Track's a little different this year. There's some VAT track bite down in the corners. How do you think that's going to fare for you guys in your race today?
Well, I think the bottom is probably going to be where it's going to be. That's going to be where it's at, and hopefully we can just keep on restarting on the bottom and stay down there and just keep our track position all race long.
Patrick Emmerling, a former Rookie of the Year in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, he's going to bring the field to green today.
We talked about how fast this place is. When it goes great, it's fine. When it goes bad, Tommy, it goes bad in a hurry.
Yeah, it sure does, Ralph. It's the speeds here with the heavy amount of load on the suspension parts, and parts can break here. Burt Myers, it's a shame. He was the fastest in practice at that time.
Here's a look at those that have won already this year. Solomito with 3 wins, as we talked about, leading the points. But Ryan Priest, he's right there too, chipping away at him in the most recent winner on the tour. Field all lined up and ready to go. The NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour ready to thrill the fans on the high banks at Bristol Motor Speedway when we return. Whelen Modified Tour racing at NBCSN is brought to you by E3 Spark Plugs, delivering more performance on the track and on your daily commute. What are you running? Here on NBCSN with the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, the Bush's Beans 150 getting ready to go. One of those races on the calendar everybody circles. They all look forward to seeing these ultra-quick modifieds on the high banks here at Bristol. Who should we watch, Derek?
Well, guys, one of our Who to Watch drivers will be starting in the 3rd spot. That's the white Gershow Recycling number 21 machine of Ronnie Williams from Ellington, Connecticut. The car is usually driven by J.R. Bertuccio, but he got out of the car this year, and Ronnie Williams was hired to run the car. He's an SK modified racer, and you can usually find him in Victory Lane at places like the Waterford Speed Bowl and the Stafford Motor Speedway. This will only be his 4th ever start on the tour, but he's been impressive each time he's hopped in the car.
For those that might not know, Tommy, the SK Modified's similar to these.
Yep, just got a little bit less horsepower. Everything else is the same. Ryan Williams is a real good driver from the Connecticut area. It's pretty cool that Joe Petruccio and the Gershow Chevrolet gave him a shot.
150 laps the distance here tonight. Take a look at the starting grid as the field continues to warm up those big slicks, getting ready to race on the high banks here. Patrick Emmerling, we talked about how quick he is, and how about Chase Dowling and that new ride for him on the outside of row 1?
Yeah, Chase Downs got a really good opportunity here. Driving for Rob Fuller of Motorsports in the beginning of the year. They are both teamed up now to drive this 11 car with LFR chassis. Robbie's support with the chassis knowledge. They're going to be pretty tough today.
Rowan Pennick's been real quick this year, but he's starting deep in the field inside of row 10. And then Burt Myers, we talked about the problem he had. He's very quick, tail end of the field.
Yeah, the 3 car struggled all day today in practice, watching it a little bit. But you know what? At the end of the day, he's always there at the end.
Pace truck is pulled off. Here we go, waiting on the green flag. Speeds come up, and we're racing here at Bristol.
The bottom groove, since the PJ1 adhesive been applied, has been the dominant groove during practice today. So I feel that it's going to be a 1-lane racetrack for a little bit. Hopefully guys like Bobby Santos in the 77 and Timmy Solomino in the 16 can make that outside work.
They're fighting over 5th right now. Boy, look at how fast the speeds come up here.
Yeah, these cars look so cool going around this racetrack. It's crazy.
There's Williams in that 21 that Derek was talking about.
I watched that 07 in practice today, and I could have sworn I heard him go wide open in a lap, making a bonsai run. And I watched his qualifying lap. He never lifted. Going around here wide open, I was like, man, that is incredible.
Emmerling at the front of the field. One car got pretty wide there. Looked like Williams?
Yeah, 21. Looked like he stepped out a little bit, getting into the corner, got loose, and got up the racetrack.
Let's head inside pit lane area. Here's Derek once again.
Ralph, Tommy, all the spotters and the crews are coming over the radios and stressing to the drivers to stay on the bottom. That's where that VHT strip is at, and that's where they're getting the most traction. A lot of guys have said once they get those tires out of that dark area of the track and into the light gray, the car takes off and skates around like it's on ice.
And that's what this adhesive does. It's going to take a while for it to wear off. Unfortunately, the modifieds are going to be the first to run on at their race. So as the weekend goes with the trucks, the Xfinity and the Cup Series, it'll get better as we go.
Chase Dowling in the 11. He's going to venture up a little bit here. That might be costly for him. Looks like it is for the 6 car of Ryan Preece.
It looks like 51, Justin Bonsignore, he's picked up right where he left off at Thompson and still running a top 3. Car's been solid all day. Bobby Santos in Bono's car today. Usually that's Ryan Newman, but Bobby Santos got called in today to take relief of Ryan Newman so that he can concentrate on his Cup efforts. But it's going to be a nice, hopefully, pass here on the outside.
Oh. Whoa, 1 car around. Oh, boy. And collecting a handful at the same time. Involved in it, the 64 of Rob Summers. It looks like the 63 tied up in there. Austin Pickens, there's Summers' car. And boy, Tommy, that's exactly what we were talking about. How fast they're going around here. The opportunity when something goes wrong to avoid it is really hard because you really don't have much time to react.
Yeah, I mean, the reaction time is so much faster than what they're used to because of the speed. The banking, they're just not used to it, and it's going to take a little bit for these guys to adjust. If they raced here regularly, they'd probably be much better, be less wrecks, but the reaction time from the spotter calling as a wreck to the time the guy has to get on the brakes, you're already in the wreck.
Like Calvin Carroll in the 39 tied up in it.
Yeah, it looks like he got slowed down, but the 64 ran into the back of him and got him right in the wreck.
I think that's Andy Seiss in the 70 as well.
Ooh, hard hit.
He couldn't get her to turn around quick enough, huh?
No.
She missed it all. Oh, there it is. And Summers, fortunately, able to crawl out of the car. Carroll, Lutz, Craig Lutz was the one we missed. Pickens, Summers, and Seiss all tied up in it. 5 cars. And at these speeds, it's going to suffer some serious damage to those machines as well. We'll be right back once the track is cleaned up to go racing again. First yellow flag of the day due to a 5-car incident. Field ready to get back at it here. Green flag again at Bristol.
Justin made the crossover move after the start-finish line, got a good jump, got underneath the 11 car. So, again, I look for Justin to have a good day today. you know, the top 6 or 7 cars have been pretty equal all day during practice. The 07 has been a little bit faster, though, all day. I mean, the half a tenth to a tenth after about 5-6 laps I've watched during practice. Very solid race car.
That's Patrick Emmerling in that 07. There's Solomino in the 16. He's got Kobe now on his heels. We haven't had a chance to talk too much about Doug Kobe. How's Timmy Solomino doing behind the wheel in the 16 now in the early part of the race, Derek?
Timmy Solomino in the number 16 machine just came over the radio, said to the crew that the car is tight. Crew chief Sly Saban came back on the radio and said just ride it out for a little while. The weather is starting to cool down. The cloud cover is coming in, and as the track starts to cool off, the car will start to become neutral.
He's chasing Eric Goodale out of Riverhead, New York right now in that 58.
Yeah, and that's a good call for Sly to explain to Timmy. You know, that's exactly what will happen. If I was a crew chief and my car was out there, I would want the car to be a little on the tight side. I would not want it to be loose here at Bristol.
Yeah, you got to think about late in the race, not early on, right? And sometimes it's just putting a little confidence back in your driver that, hey, hang in there, things are going to get better. And Emmerling's car right now, a rocket. Oh, problems here for the 82. Ted Christopher, who ran very well at the last race, the veteran driver struggling here today at Bristol.
Yeah, it looks like he had a little engine issue there. Unfortunate.
Dealing already with traffic. And boy, the laps are going to tick off fast here if we stay clean and green. Whoa, boy, look at how loose.
Yeah, and if Chase didn't have an experienced driver behind him like Bobby Santos, that definitely would have been a wreck.
Dowling in that 11. Chase Dowling hanging on to the wheel in the 11 with Bobby Santos. And Bono Mannion 77 right behind him, that bright yellow car.
He's trying to work the outside. He's trying to get the feel of it. He had a pretty good start of the race on the outside, past a couple of cars. See, the 58 got a little bit loose there.
Boy, just like Derek said, the crew chiefs tell him you get just a wheel up or half a wheel up into that gray, and boy, the back end just wants to step around.
Yeah, it just goes from a lot of grip to no grip. And again, that's why Bobby Santos, you can see him, he's entering a little high, putting the right sides in the older stuff. Not the PJ1, so that doesn't happen. He's trying to get an equal grip on the car and trying to get the feel for the outside.
Priest right there in the middle of it. The white car with the orange. The number 6, former champion of the Tour. Thick of the points battle this year. Yeah, look at Santos higher there for sure.
He's trying to lay the rubber down. He's trying to get it to work.
Well, they got to get around some slower cars too, so you have to be able to venture up there as they look to find a way around Wade Cole's machine in the 33. Let's introduce you to one of our next-gen stars of the series.
I'm Ryan Priest, driver of the TS Whelen number 6 Whelen Modified Tour car. A couple weeks ago, I won my first NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Iowa Speedway, and man, it's just been great ever since. It was just really amazing to be able to win at NASCAR's second highest level in the Xfinity Series, and it's just it's really been great, I think, for the short track community. It's really brought a lot of attention out here to the short tracks, and I hope people realize and the short track racing continues to grow. Modified racing is some of the toughest racing out there, I believe. They're a lot of fun to drive, so I feel like modified drivers really, you know, have a good feel for what you need. Continue and try to lead laps, win the race. That's the only way you can really stay in it or be competing for this championship. I'm Ryan Priest, and that's your NASCAR Next Gen profile.
One of the hottest drivers in all of racing in the United States these days, Ryan Priest on a tear. Doug Kobe, the 4-time champion, would love another one this year. In the points battle, needs a good run here today.
He does. He's been solid all year. Has had a lot of bad luck, unfortunately, but the car's been fast. You know, the thing what's different about this race today, there are no live pit stops. We're going to be coming to a 75-lap caution, which breaks the race in half. The guys get to go over the wall without any pressure, put tires on. So you're not going to see any pit stops change, you know, strategy of pit stops change positions, but the key is they're going to have more time to adjust on their race car.
Kobe and Sapienza in the 36 both get around the points leader, Timmy Solomito. The shocking thing with Kobe is still no wins this year.
It is, and at the end of the race, they've seemed to put themselves in position to win it. They just can't close it.
Patrick Emmerling Boy, he has been a dominant car here so far this weekend.
Yeah, he's run well all day, even, you know, obviously the first 54 laps. He ran really well at New Hampshire, his other tour race this year, so he's got a real strong team behind him.
Now Chase Dowling runs in the third spot out there. We're used to seeing Andy Sykes driving that number 11. He won 2 championships in that car driving for Eddie Harvey, but just a couple of months ago, the team decided to part ways. Andy is going to drive for his family-owned team. So this weekend, Eddie Harvey decided to put Chase Dowling in the car. They're very pleased with the car. They like how it feels, and they think that they can have a piece that can win here this afternoon.
Well, they sure do, Derek, and they got a driver behind the wheel that's showing them they've got a good combination. Sykes in the family car, like he mentioned, in the 70, already been caught up in the first incident of the day. Tough afternoon for him. First third of the race already in the books.
Yeah, it is, and as you can see, it's the experienced guys, the experienced crew chiefs and teams that are up front. Good solid race cars so far. It's been a good solid race. It's, you know, it's fast. I think these guys are still probably getting used to the speed. You know, as you can see, these guys are trying to pass for position. The 21's trying to get back up to where he was before he had his little loose issue and cost himself some positions.
Well, and he's right behind Rowan Pennick. Pennick, as we said, been quick most of the year. Started a little deeper in the field today than he would have liked, but he's second in the point standings. So Pennick, just 10 points out, needs to get further up in the field in a hurry, although Solomito's not necessarily having a great day today either.
No, he's not, and I feel confident that the 3-car will adjust well during this break. Something happened to him in practice. He lost a lot of practice today, and I don't think they got the exact adjustments they needed to start the race, but they always seem to be there at the end.
They're stuck behind Matt Swanson in the 89 right now.
And Emerlin's already come up to lap him, so that shows you how good Emerlin is and how much these 3 guys are struggling right now.
Oh, boy. And now Emerling's got to be careful because these 3 are trying to figure out how to get around this racetrack a little bit quicker than they are. They're moving around, and Emerling doesn't want to get caught up in something that ruins his day.
Yeah, and you can see the 07's definitely handling well, even on the outside. So just a really good, solid race car today.
That is the only car, the 07, open the caution comes out. That's the only car I've seen all day get up into the gray and not have the back end step out.
Just very solid race car today.
Caught a glimpse of Kyle Bonsignor in the 22. Here's Sutcliffe getting word that he had spun over in turn 2. Got it going again, and that was the reason for our second caution of the day. Well, that'll allow the field to close in. That's the only thing that's allowed them to close in to Patrick Emerling so far. Back here at Bristol, ready to go back to racing. Ralph Shaheen, Tommy Baldwin, and Derek Perniciglio with you. Race 10 of 17 on the 2017 season is back in racing under green.
Yeah, and this could get interesting. There's roughly 10 laps left here until the halfway break. These guys are going to fight for every position they have get themselves in the right position for the restart. Oh, you see the 58 get loose.
Santos is around.
Solomito.
And Solomito runs into him. That could have a heavy impact, not just on the car, but on the point standings.
Yeah, it looks like the steering, the front wheels on Solomito's car will go in opposite directions. Looks like he definitely has a steering issue. And again, you saw the 58 fighting very hard. He just got loose underneath everybody and got up the track, got into the 77, got him spun out, and got the 16 involved. You can see the wheels a little bit off on the toe there, so he's definitely got some issues.
And he only had a 10-point lead over Rowan Pennick. Let's take a look at it again. Goodale in the 58 gets in to the 77.
Yeah, it looked like he got down on the apron a little bit, got him loose. And you can see the 16, he was getting ready to go down on the bottom, but again, the speeds here, it looked like the 77 was going to go catch himself and get back into the inside wall, so he decided to go up top and got in that wreck.
You know, credit to Bobby Santos for not just completely tearing that car up, too. He did a nice job of woeing that thing down and not stuffing it into the wall.
Yeah, and again, I think that Bobby has a lot of experience driving the midgets at places like Winchester and Salem, where the speeds are probably even faster in now those cars than these modified. So he's got obviously great car control.
Man, tough break for Timmy Solomito. Let's go get an update on his car as we head down to the pits and Derek.
Well, Ralph, Tommy, they're clearing the number 16 car of Timmy Solomito off the racetrack right now. The crew came over the radio and said, yes, we're going to get back out there, but we're not going to do the repairs here on pit road. Take the car back to the truck. We're going to take the pit box back there, do the repairs, and we're going to get back out there. Granted, we're going to be some laps down, but we have to salvage as many points as we can.
Yeah, they have no choice.
Yeah, run, guys. Get there. Fix that thing. Get the amount of, as most laps as they possibly can.
3 wins, 6 top 5, 7 top 10s for Timmy, and a 10-point lead that's probably going to evaporate by the end of the day over Rowan Pennick.
Yeah, once again, this is going to be a very short stint of getting to this competition caution at lap 75. So these guys are going to be fighting hard.
Green flag waves again.
Monsignor got a really good restart. Just again, he's just stuck on the outside there. The 07's been handling well all day. He's going to be tough to beat.
Good Dale. Here's Priest and Kobe. Boy, they can make up a lot of ground in the points. They're 3rd and 4th, Priest and Kobe in the point standings.
And Priest got stuck behind the 58, is having a lot of handling issues right now. As you can see, he's all over the racetrack. Hopefully he can just get to the mid-race break there and make some adjustments.
And Pennick now in that 3. Needs to have a nice smooth day and not do anything wrong, and he could come out of here with the points lead, sitting 9th in the field right now.
Yeah, with the experience he has, he knows what he has right now, Ralph. He's just going to ride this out to the caution here, and I'm sure they're going to make some good adjustments and be there at the end.
Pennick with just 1 win this year, 2 top 5s. He's only had 1 top 10 here at Bristol.
Caution should be coming out here shortly. Give these guys a breather.
In and around lap 75, and there it is.
All right, so now these guys are going, I need this break here. They're all talking to the crew chiefs, telling them what they have. The crew chiefs are going to go over right now all the adjustments they need to make. The other key to this pit stop is these are the same compound tires that they started the race. Those are the ones they have to put back on. It's not a softer tire on the right rear today. So they got what they got. They make some good adjustments and go from here.
While the crews are working through the competition caution here at Bristol, let's take you back and give you a race recap as to how we got here. Patrick Emmerling in the 07 has been the fastest car all day, and Bristol has chewed up some machinery as well. First caution involved 5 cars, and Santos collected the points leader here. Timmy Solomito's 16. But Emmerling continues to dominate all the way to the competition caution at the halfway break.
So everybody made their adjustments here. They tighten those seat belts a little extra click here. It's time to go racing here. I think the 2 cars done a really good job so far, just getting to what he could get to this halfway break, make some adjustments.
How will the second half affect the championship standings? We go back to green to find out. Emmerling right back to the lead.
The 11 car and the 6 car got a good jump on the inside. Unfortunately, with these cold tires, outside's going to,
man, look at that.
He's twitching, almost got into the 51.
Priest just hammering through the corner. Kobe on the bottom, following him through as they get inside of Justin Bonsignor.
We haven't talked about the 75, Ralph, much today. He's pretty solid into the field here. I think this is his first or second race with this team.
That's Jeremy Gersner in the 75. Bonsignor pulls in just in front of him. Well, this is exactly what Priest and Kobe need right now.
The 07 already added the picture. He's obviously they made some minor adjustments to that car. The 6 car got a little tight off the corner, opened up the door for Doug Kobe. Probably him in the 51 go right by him.
And now Pennick is moving up as well in that blue 3. Remember, all 3 of them second, third, and fourth in the point standings. And with Solomito's day having his issues, they have a great opportunity to shake things up in the points. And then Pinnock gets right into the back of the car in front of him, and boy, I thought he was going to make a trip to the wall.
Yeah, the 58 got pushed into the 75. 75 checked up a little bit. 58 saw what was happening, but the 3 didn't, and they got together.
Derek.
Ralph, Tommy, work continuing down here on the number 16 of Timmy Solomito. You can see the crew going to work. They're working on the rear end of the car right now. They had to fix all the damage that was on the front end. The tie rods were bent. The toe was knocked out of it as well. A little bit of damage to the front bumper, but that's no big deal. Right now, they're going to work on the rear of the car. They're trying to get Timmy Solomito down on the ground. Granted, he's lost a lot of laps out there, but he is the point leader, and they're trying to salvage as many points as they can.
Well, the problem is, too, Tommy, the laps click off fast here. So every couple of seconds you still sit in the pits, you go down another couple of laps.
It is, but this is how championships are won. Yep, as the 75.
Whoa,
oh, hard hit.
Man, that's a big one. We were talking about the good day that Jeremy Gersner was having, and now it ends up with a torn-up race car.
Yeah, he just got up. His right rear up in the out of the PJ1, got loose, overcorrected, and got in the wall really hard.
Oh, man. That is a big hit here.
It's a shame. He was having a real good, solid day. He's been probably about 2 or 3 tour races this year. Very aggressive driver. He's out of Florida. Doesn't race this series much, but whenever he's in a part of it, he's in the front.
Well, this is a tough break for him, but a good break for Solomito. Gives him a little more time without losing a lot more laps to continue to work on that 16.
Yeah, they're looking at it as another position picked up for the, another 3 points or so. So, yeah, I mean, like I was saying earlier, fixing wrecked cars, getting them back on the track, gaining those 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 points, it's going to be pivotal at the end of the championship chase.
Restart's going to come with less than 50 to go.
And you can see the 3-car Pinnock, he's up to 6th. The 6-car had a little issue there on the restart.
Sure did. You see him in the back of the field there. And what was looking like maybe a great points day for Ryan Preece starting to fade away, but it's turning into a really good one for Kobe. Here he comes inside of Chase Dowling, and now Kobe is up to 2nd.
Yeah, Chase tried to close the door a little bit on Kobe, but it's time to go now. Kobe had nothing to do with it. He fought for that position. Now he's up to 2nd.
And here's Pinnock. 1 top 10 in his career here at Bristol, looking for another one here today and taking over the points lead.
Look at Andy Seiss back up front there. He had those issue in the beginning of that wreck, the first wreck there, and he's back up in the front.
Seiss in the number 70, running in 6th, right behind or just in front of Pinnock. Monsignor is looking pretty quick and pretty solidly planted in the 51.
A team over the last 3 or 4 weeks have become back to their championship form. A couple crew changes, changing the atmosphere makes a difference.
Peek to the inside.
And again, you saw experience there with Justin. He could have stuck his nose in a little bit harder, but again, he's looking at the overall picture and the points picture. He knows he's got a top 3 or 4 car right now, so he didn't push the issue there.
Boy, Goodale was starting to push it, and then it got real loose on him. Yeah, Bonsignor is 6th in the point standings, and there's problems for Goodale.
Another engine issue here. These guys are running around here almost wide open right now, and these engines really aren't used to that. Those high RPMs for that long of a distance or time. So obviously you're going to have a lot of valve train issues here today.
Tough break for him. He was 5th in the point standings coming into the day.
Yeah, I think he previous winner here at Bristol as well. So he's got a lot of experience here. He's used to the speed. Unfortunate.
Watch it again, the 58. You see the smoke?
Definitely an engine issue.
Well, he did a nice job of keeping it down on the bottom of the racetrack.
He did. Good thing nobody got collected.
Pennick right behind him and Seiss in the 70. And he's going to get to push back into the pit area. Kobe sitting there in second place. 2 top 5s in 6 starts at Bristol.
Yeah, a lot of oil dry being put down in the bottom groove. This might make a difference on the restart.
We'll see how it plays out in the race for the checkers after this. Back here at Bristol, the Bush's Beans 150. Into the final stages here. Gonna have around 30 laps to go when we get back to the green flag.
Yeah, the 07 with Patrick Emmerlin's picked up a new sponsor today with Saline's Hot Dogs. Kind of weird that they're leading the Bush Beans 150.
Let's go to Derek.
Well, Jan Leedy's a former veteran of the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Now he's turned crew chief for Patrick Emmerling. What have you been telling your driver over the radio? He's having one of his best days out there.
I told him to enjoy it. You know, he's worked hard for it. Got a good car here today, and let's try to close it out and have some fun.
How good of a car do you have, and do you have a chance of keeping everyone else behind you?
Well, you don't know. There's some great racers out there. We've got to deal with Kobe now, and there's others in the field that are coming through, Priest. So we don't know, but we're going to find out here pretty soon. But I think we've got a darn good car.
That's the word from Jan Leedy, former driver turned crew chief.
And a great driver in his own right.
Yeah, I mean, if you want somebody on top of the pit box with a lot of experience and a lot of wins, that's your guy. Great, solid team from up north.
Here we go. Boy, we've thinned the herd out, haven't we? Quite a few cars missing from when we started this day.
And that's usually the case here in Bristol.
Kobe sitting there in second. Man, Emmerling doing everything he can to hang on.
Kind of tiptoed through the speedy dry there a little bit. He'll get it cleaned off in a couple laps.
Kobe's best finish here at Bristol was a 4th back in 2014.
Whoa.
Oh, man, Emmerling. This is the most we've seen that car moving around, and Kobe trying to take advantage of it, still looking for his first win of the year.
Yeah, and Kobe knows right now this is really the only shot he has in the beginning of the restarts, you know, because just mostly because of the experience. I think Emmerling, you know, has a lot of restart experience racing up north in the different modified series, but this is the tour. Doug Kobe's one of the best, and I know he said, man, there's a lot of speedy dry down there. If I ride him hard, get him loose, I could get underneath him, and that was his shot.
Well, he fired a few times at Emmerling, and Emmerling dodged every bullet. He has done a fantastic job behind the wheel today.
It's just been absolutely dominant all day.
And Tommy, look at how far up into the gray he is now.
Well, I think he learned there. He got loose with where the oil was laid down from the engine failure with the 58. He found a little bit easy of a spot with a little bit more grip right now until that speedy dry wears off.
Here comes Santos in the 77.
Yeah, obviously Bobby with a lot of experience, but it's pretty cool with Matt Swanson and Starrett Tools, number 89, riding right behind him, running really well today. He's gaining valuable experience learning from Bobby.
Young Matt Swanson out of Acton, Massachusetts. Derek, what can you tell us?
What an incredible run for Ronnie Williams in that number 2 Gershow Recycling team. Came into this series with only a couple of races under his belt. He's now driving for Joe Bertuccio in that Gershow Motorsports team. The team is only running a handful of races this year, but every time they've hit the track, they have showed a lot of promise. Ronnie Williams runs in the top 10 right now. Not bad for an independent team from Long Island.
Young driver contending for the Sunoco Rookie of the Year award.
Looks like the 2 cars caught Patrick a little bit. Again, experience. Doug Kobe over the years here has seemed to get in a lot of bad wrecks. Really not be able to get to the end of the race. I think he's drove a really smart race today to get in this position for the win.
Modified's always thrilling here at Bristol. Let's take you back in the day to 2009. First time ever NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour visited the high banks here at Bristol. Now keep an eye on Donnie Leah. He's right there, the number 4. Starts working his way through the field here. That Mystic Missile, one of the most legendary cars in the field, gets past Ted Christopher's 36. Little bump and run, takes the lead, takes the win. Donnie would go on to win the championship that year. And of course, the big victory, the inaugural modified race here at Bristol.
It's a shame that Bob Galvarino, not seeing that 4-car out there every week anymore. Very solid team over the years. A lot of great race car drivers drove that race car.
It is to the modified tour like the Petty 43 is to the NASCAR Cup Tour. Laps winding down here in a hurry. I just don't know if Kobe's got the speed it's going to take. He might have to settle for another second. Boy, Santos trying to gain another spot here as he tries to loosen up Ronnie Williams.
Yeah, it's been very hard to pass. As everybody have seen today, most of the passing has been done on the restarts, or if somebody has clipped the inside of the apron, got up the racetrack. It's very difficult with this PJ1 on this track today with these modified, especially being the first one on the track running this race with this adhesive.
Panic would love another position if he can find a way around Andy Seiss, because he's going to take over the points lead today. Might be a question of by how much. Just 5 laps remaining. Boy, if you know, Patrick Emmerling has just put in the perfect run here today.
He has. He's been flawless all day, and you know, right now with 4 laps to go, coming to 3 to go, he's like hearing all kinds of noises. What's going to happen? Hopefully I can make it to the end. You know, he's got very smart, good crew chief, and Jan Leedy behind the scenes talking to him on the radio, just telling him to remain calm, and like you said earlier, go have some fun, just keeping him relaxed.
Hennick just trying to, if he can't get around Seiss, the one thing he doesn't want to do is lose another position or get in the middle of a mess here with just 2 to go. White flag is out for Patrick Emmerling, and he has opened up the gap again, hasn't he?
Very, very solid day for that race team.
He has weathered everything that's been thrown at him as well. Coming off the final corner, the checkered flag waves for Patrick Emmerling as he wins the Bush's Beans 150, the NASCAR Whelen Modifieds here at Bristol. Battle for 6, Panic trying for one more spot. Not gonna get it.
But a solid day. They worked on that car all day from problems in practice. Big points day for the 3-car.
And Doug Kobe once again will have to settle for a second. Another top 5, so still a solid run for him. For Kobe, that is his 6th top 5 of the year. And he's definitely going to move up in the points.
Definitely going to be having hot dogs and baked beans tonight.
Plenty of them. Big celebration coming for Patrick Emmerling. We'll be there when he rolls into victory lane. There's a great shot of the high-banked Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum, and that picture explains why they call it that. What an amazing facility. Well, Doug Kobe gave it everything he could do today to catch Patrick Emmerling, but boy, there just wasn't much he could do. Emmerling was unbelievably quick here today.
Yeah, you can see the crew chief, Phil Moran, patting Doug Kobe on the shoulder there, telling him good race. Just got to keep his confidence up. They know they've gained the valuable points today.
Derek, here's our winner.
Patrick Emmerling, his first win in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour at one of the biggest stages that the series races on. What's going through your mind right now?
A heck of a lot. You know, just you know, being a part-timer and showing up and, you know, winning practice, getting the pole and staying out front for the whole race. It's just, you know, it's incredible, you know, for what we do out of our shop in Holland, New York. And I got to thank everyone involved. My family, all my guys here, they, you know, we just, you know, this was a long time coming, so I think we had, I think it was a little overdue for us, so, but to win here at Bristol is just incredible. It's just stuff I dreamed of, and, you know, they came true, so it's just incredible for us.
Yeah, you had some pretty stout company behind you with Doug Kobe closing in the waning laps. Did you get nervous? Because I saw you tap bumpers a few times.
Yeah, we got together a little bit. You know, I was protecting the bottom, and you know, and the goo on the bottom, it just, you know, it just made it easier starting from the pole there. And, you know, so the bottom, you know, it was definitely the way to go. We got a little squirrely coming up off after the oil there, after the oil spill. But, yeah, that was protecting the bottom, and he kind of was just trying to sneak under there a couple times, but I shut the door.
That first one is always sweet, guys. Patrick Emmerling takes career win #1 in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, and he does it here at Bristol.
And he did it in an absolutely dominating fashion. I'm a little surprised that Ryan Preece was able to battle back to 5th, because for a while there, sure looked like he was out of it.
Yeah, he just didn't have it today. Not a very good handle in the race car. Looks like they missed the setup a little bit.
A lot of good cars torn up throughout the course of the day, including Timmy Solomito finishes 15th. Definitely going to impact the points. We mentioned that Kobe gets another top 5. He's second once again, and he's with Derek.
Well, 4-time champion Doug Kobe comes home in the 2nd spot. A nice, strong run for him this afternoon. And what kind of changes did you make after the halfway break? Because the car just came alive.
That's a secret, Derek. You know, I can't tell you that. I mean, we know our car, and we've got some good notes here now, and made some great changes. The car was awesome. I got underneath him a couple times, and I know he's fighting hard for his first win. He did what he had to do, and I'm thankful that we didn't end up, you know, 2 of us wrecking up there, because I was ready to send it. But our Mayhew Tools car was just awesome all weekend, and you know, this is a tough track. This is it's not easy to run a modified around here. It's white knuckle every lap and speedy dry, and you know, you're trying the best you can on the restarts on the outside, but we just picked him off one at a time, and I think if I could have got him, I would have drove away, but he was very fast all weekend. They did a great job, so congratulations to them.
Do you think you could have gotten past him without nudging him out of the way?
If he'd have let me, yeah. I mean, I wasn't going to send it in there and drive him up the track. I was just trying to get even with him, and you know, he took my line away twice going into one, and you know, for all the times that everybody's going to get on my case for people I wreck, you got to remember some of the times that I don't cause wrecks, and you know, it's tough out there. It's a very challenging speedway for modifieds, and I'm really thrilled with a second. Just want to win. It's my bucket list. Happy birthday, Mom, and RIP John Blewett, 10 years. You know, this is a big day for the modified community. Always thinking about Jimmy, Janice, Danielle, and the whole family, and I wanted to win for them, wanted to win for my mom, but second's good enough. My best finish here.
A 2nd place run for the #2 of Doug Kobe as he remembers John Blewett III on this 10th anniversary.
Well, we know the points are going to get shaken up a little bit here today, and look what happened. Oh, Solomito hangs on by just 2.
And look how close it is. The top 5 separated by 19 points.
Well, that's why you got to fight to get back out on that racetrack, Tommy. That could make a huge difference for them late in the season.
They salvaged a 15th position today. Not bad.
Derek.
Well, 3rd place will be the finish for Justin Bonsignor. He comes all the way from Long Island down here to Tennessee to race, and the 2 leaders had such a huge gap between you and 3rd place. Were you just hanging on at the end?
Yeah, we were a little too tight down in 3 and 4 before the intermission. I think, looking back, it was probably the syrup. We were just tight in the syrup, or whatever you want to call it. And, we freed it up at the break, and I knew right away it was just too free. It started to come around, but I had a hook a perfect line in the last 20 laps. I could start to reel him back in, just wasn't meant to be. So good night for us. You know, we had a good points night. We're creeping back into it, I think. So really proud of the guys. You know, we went through a lot this month of August, and we had 2 thirds and an 11. So pretty good month for us so far, and it's nice to be back on the podium on a regular basis with a good solid run again tonight.
If you got the car out of the syrup, did you have to tiptoe to get through the corner?
Yeah, it was really a one-groove racetrack, and unfortunately, it kind of, I hate to say it, but it kind of ruins the modified race just because we're good. We can run 4 wide here, and it's perfect racing. When it's one groove on the bottom, it almost makes it like a riverhead, but at 130 miles an hour, and it's hard to really, you know, a guy chops takes your lane away. It's hard to, you know, hold your ground and not wreck everybody. So it's a game of inches, and you know, today I think if we just were a little snugger, we might have had a car to beat them, but you know, we'll take a 3rd.
Justin Bonsignor is back with his new crew chief and gaining momentum as we get into the later races this season.
Well, the next race coming your way here on NBCSN will be the K&N Pro Series West, the Clint Newell Toyota 150 from Douglas County Speedway out in Roseburg, Oregon. You can catch it Saturday, September 2nd, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Tommy, I can't wait to get back with the modifieds again. Always a great show.
Yeah, obviously these modifieds put on a great show wherever they go. Great competition. There's 10 guys battling week in and week out against, you know, each other for the win. Solid points battle going on. It's going to be very exciting rest of the season.
And a tremendous points battle, maybe the best in all of NASCAR. For Derek Prentice-Siglio and Tommy Baldwin, I'm Ralph Shaheen. So long from Bristol. Congratulations to Patrick Emmerling on the big win. Career victory #1. comes at Bristol. Way to go, Patrick. Congrats.